Why does returning home from a loud family gathering in Mumbai leave you feeling completely hollow? You spent hours smiling and nodding at a relative's crowded apartment, but as the heavy wooden door clicks shut, the sudden silence feels like a physical weight. A passing comment from an uncle still echoes in your mind, telling you that you stay alone too much. You laughed it off then, but now you wonder if something is genuinely wrong with your social battery. In India, constant socialization is treated as the ultimate measure of a healthy life. If you prefer a quiet room over a noisy wedding, people assume you are antisocial. But neuroscience suggests this preference is actually a sign of high cognitive function. Highly intelligent minds naturally filter their social circles to protect their mental peace. A massive scientific study recently proved exactly why this happens, and the results are eye-opening. Researchers analyzed data from 15,000 individuals to understand how socialization affects happiness. For most people, spending more time with close friends directly increased their life satisfaction. But for those with high IQ scores, the exact opposite pattern emerged. Frequent social interactions actually caused highly intelligent individuals to feel less happy overall. To understand why their brains react this way, we have to look at how they process everyday conversations. Think about the last time you sat at a local cafe, listening to someone boast about their achievements. No matter what topic you introduce, the conversation always pivots back to their personal success. You listen politely for an hour, but your energy drains with every passing minute. By the time you leave, you feel physically exhausted from merely sitting and listening. This exhaustion is not a personality flaw, but a direct result of how your brain processes information. Imagine your brain operates exactly like a high-performance water purifier in a modern kitchen. Its primary job is to filter out impurities from the incoming stream of information. In social settings, these impurities are insincere compliments, boasting, and shallow gossip. A standard purifier has loose filters that let most particles pass through without much effort. But a high-performance system works much harder to ensure absolute purity. An intelligent brain possesses incredibly dense, high-performance filters. It actively analyzes micro-expressions, hidden motives, and the true meaning behind words. Because it processes everything so deeply, the filter quickly gets overloaded with data. This intense processing is why a simple dinner party can leave you feeling completely drained. To find the evolutionary roots of this mechanism, we must travel back thousands of years. Scientists explain this phenomenon using a concept called the Savannah Theory of happiness. Our ancestors lived in small, tight-knit groups where survival depended on mutual trust. In those ancient environments, large networks of superficial acquaintances simply did not exist. Our brains were wired to manage a very limited number of highly reliable relationships. And for the highly intelligent, this ancient wiring remains remarkably strong today. Early humans relied on a trusted circle of about 150 people to survive harsh conditions. Knowing everyone deeply was a matter of life and death during a hunt. Highly intelligent minds are naturally more aligned with this focused survival strategy. They instinctively seek deep, meaningful bonds, rather than a massive collection of contacts. When forced into modern, superficial networking, the brain's internal alarm begins to sound. When you force a high-performance filter to process endless streams of dirty water, it clogs. The system slows down, and the flow of clean water eventually grinds to a halt. The exhaustion you feel after a crowded event is your brain's way of protecting itself. It is not a lack of social skill, but a healthy defense mechanism in action. But managing this filter becomes even more complicated when social expectations backfire. We are taught from childhood that helping others always builds stronger relationships. But psychology reveals a frustrating truth known as the paradox of favor. When you constantly offer help, it can create an unspoken sense of debt. If people cannot repay that debt, their appreciation slowly turns into silent resentment. To see how this plays out in real life, let us look at a typical Indian neighborhood. Consider a generous neighborhood auntie who constantly cooks and helps everyone in her colony. She never says no, believing her endless kindness will secure her a loyal community. But when she faced a sudden crisis, those same neighbors quietly avoided her calls. Because she gave without boundaries, people began to take her support entirely for granted. This painful lesson is why highly intelligent people are extremely selective about where they invest. A 2022 study from Oxford University shed new light on this social dynamic. Researchers found that individuals with high social intelligence prioritize reciprocity. They observe whether a potential friend is willing to give as much as they take. If the relationship is entirely one-sided, they quietly step back to preserve their energy. Yet, choosing to stay home on a weekend still brings a wave of modern anxiety. You scroll through social media on a Sunday afternoon and see photos of friends out partying. Even though you are perfectly comfortable at home, a sudden sense of guilt creeps in. You worry that you are wasting your youth by choosing solitude over crowds. But neuroscience reveals that your brain is actually performing a vital maintenance cycle. This quiet time activates a powerful neural network designed to clean your mind. When you stop focusing on external tasks, the default mode network in your brain activates. Think of it as an automatic self-cleaning cycle for your mental filter. It processes lingering emotions, organizes memories, and clears away cognitive clutter. But this crucial system can only run when you are completely free from social stimulation. A fascinating experiment at Harvard proved just how powerful this quiet state can be. In 2023, Harvard researchers compared people who spent time alone with those in active groups. The individuals who experienced intentional solitude showed significantly higher creative output. Their problem-solving abilities sharpened because their mental filters were fully refreshed. If you have a better tip than this video, please share your thoughts in the comments below. Now, let us explore 3 practical steps to protect your high-performance mental filter. The first step is to practice a simple 3-second test whenever you receive an invitation. Before replying to a message, pause and ask yourself if this meeting will charge you. If your instinct immediately signals exhaustion, politely decline the offer. You are not being rude. You are simply choosing not to pour muddy water into your filter. Next, you must establish a daily boundary that no one is allowed to cross. The second step is to secure exactly 20 minutes of absolute quiet every single day. Turn off your phone, close your laptop, and sit in a comfortable corner of your room. Allow your mind to wander freely without any incoming digital notifications. This brief window gives your default mode network the space it needs to clean your filter. Finally, it is time to take an honest look at the people you interact with most. The third step is to perform a simple relationship audit using a notebook and pen. Write down the names of the 5 people you spend the most time with. Next to each name, note whether they leave you feeling energized or completely drained. Slowly reduce the time you give to those who constantly deplete your mental battery. Once you begin this process, you will realize that your sensitivity is actually a gift. Having a highly sensitive mental filter is not a weakness you need to fix. It means your brain is designed to seek quality over mere social noise. You do not need to apologize for protecting your peace in a loud world. That's why the quiet choices you make today will shape your long-term happiness. Embracing this natural pace is the first step toward a truly fulfilling life. Your high-performance filter is already working perfectly to protect your mind. Now, you simply need to trust its signals and choose your connections wisely. If this perspective resonated with you, please type a simple yes in the comments. Sharing this quiet realization might be the exact comfort someone else needs tonight. That choice still lives quietly inside someone's ordinary day.